Hey everybody! I was having some technical difficulties there, but I figured it out. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody! Of course, today's feed is directly related to St. Patrick's Day and all things Irish, and there might even be a little singing involved. Sorry for that. Yes. I'd like to say Happy St. Patrick's Day to my mother, my dear sainted Irish mother. Mwah, I love you, Ma. And she's hanging out today with my brother John, who I'm going to be talking about in a minute, and my lovely sister Celeste. And hopefully they'll have good luck in whatever they're doing. May the leprechauns bring you a pot of gold, as they say. I'd like to start off by promoting some of my brother's work. He writes as a journalist all his life, pretty renowned, multiple books, and written for Rolling Stone, and worked for the Daily News and so on and so forth. Music mostly, but some sports writing. A real Hunter Thompson-esque kind of guy. And right now he's writing for a website called Tourworthy, and his current article is about sea shanties and Irish music. So you should go over to tourworthy.com and check that out. I'm actually going to right now. I have to grab my notes. I'm going to read an excerpt from that, just a short one to give you a taste. And you should go over there and check it out and like it and support him. Brilliant guy. Love him dearly. And here you go. I'm going to read this. I'm just going to read it right off the thing. Excuse me. As I grew up and became initiated into the joys of alcoholic consumption, my interest in sea shanties and Irish music grew by leaps and bounds, especially around the high holy day of St. Patrick, when I was introduced to the ritual communion of day drinking in packed bars while singing various Irish songs and eating corned beef sandwiches. And that's like what the whole New York experience of St. Patrick's Day is about right there. That's all I'm going to read of it. I was going to read another segment about Shane MacGowan. And you know what? I have it right here, so I am going to read it. This is another excerpt. The course of sea shanties, Irish music, drinking and singing in general, were forever altered by the emergence of the Pogues, led by the gnarled pagan mystery figure of the slurring, falling down drunk and proud of it, Shane MacGowan. MacGowan sang the Irish Rover like no one had ever heard it sung before. Like the starling devil himself being sucked under to his watery grave, as he raged and stumbled, jigged in a horror of delight. So that's tourworthy.com. It's Ask Platterhead. And the Year of the Sea Shanty is the name of the thing. So I hope you support that. And on that note, it's time to a little bit of Guinness. And of course, you have to have a little Irish whiskey with that too. Just a dram or two. I love you all. All right, and now it's time for the lighting of the candle. Here's the candle sent by my sainted Irish mother. I'm going to light it up in memory of all those who aren't here to celebrate with us. And I'll say a couple of Hail Marys later or something for them, which is my tradition. I'm going to put that right there. Boom! The St. Patrick's candle is lit. So that calls for another dram of whiskey. Oh, that's good. I need to pour a little more of that. Excuse me. Sorry. Bloop, 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 bloop. Bloop, 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 bloop. There we go. That should be good. I actually still have some of my Irish coffee. Take a sip of that. So good. And maybe wash it down with a little more Guinness. There you go. So now on to the next segment. Let's see. Here we go. So now it's time for some Irish singing, seeing as we were talking about that. I'm going to sing a little song called Moonshiner, and I think I'm going to end with that. Oh, although I did want to impart a little story about my St. Patrick's Day experience. I remember once, and more than once I've done this because I worked at the place, but I remember getting up early on St. Patrick's Day, 5 in the morning probably, and heading into Manhattan. We lived in Brooklyn at the time that I'm this particular story, although it happened when we lived in New York also on 8th Street. But the trick, we'd want to go to McSorley's Ale House, and they'd open at 8 a.m. on St. Patrick's Day. And this is a famous old Irish bar in the Lower East Side of New York that all they serve is porter and ale. That's it. Nothing else. Mugs of that. And so you go in and you get 2 beers and a plate of cheese and hot mustard or chili or whatever. They had some food stuffs too to go with it. But the trick on St. Patrick's Day is you'd stop at the diner down the block and get a tray of coffees, maybe some cakes. And there'd be a line of hundreds of people waiting to get in. And you just walk up the door. And, of course, they knew my brother and I well. And they would wave us in, and we'd hand out some coffees, and they'd set us up right by the door and say, all right, you stay right there. And they'd bring us a couple of mugs of beer. And then they'd open the doors, and the place would be packed full. And we'd sit there, for a couple of hours, and, people would be paying, ordering, give me 10 and 10, 20 and 20. You'd order multiple beers all the time because they sold them in pairs, pretty much. And, we'd be in our spot right at the corner, right inside the door. And they'd, be bringing the beers over to people, slapping them down, cutting a couple off and put them in front of us. And the guy would go, hey, what's that? Oh, it's the beer tax. Happy St. Patrick's Day. And we could sit there and drink all day. It was an amazing thing. I've had an amazing, lucky life. Boy, let me tell you. Anyway, on that note, here you go. Now for my rendition of The Moonshiner. I'm a rambler, I'm a gambler, I'm a long way from home, and if you don't like me, well, leave me alone. I'll eat when I'm hungry, and I'll drink when I'm dry. And if moonshine don't kill me, I'll live till I die. I've been a moonshiner for many a year. I've spent all my money on whiskey and beer. I go to some hollow and set up my still, and I'll make you a gallon for a $2 bill. I'm a rambler, I'm a gambler, I'm a long way from home, and if you don't like me, well, leave me alone. I'll eat when I'm hungry, and I'll drink when I'm dry. And if moonshine don't kill me, I'll live till I die. I go to some hollow in this country with 10 gallons of wash, and I go on a spree. The women will follow, the world is all mine. And I'll love them so well as I love my moonshine. Oh, moonshine, how I love thee. You killed my poor father, and now you'll try me. I'll bless all the moonshine, and I'll bless all the moonshiners, and I'll bless all moonshine. Their breath smells as sweet as the dew on the vine. I'm a rambler, I'm a gambler, I'm a long way from home, and if you don't like me, well, leave me alone. I'll eat when I'm hungry, and I'll drink when I'm dry. And if moonshine don't kill me, I'll live till I die. Sláinte, everybody. Happy St. Patrick's Day. And on that note, good night, ladies. It's time to do some real drinking.